Right, guys, this is the first video in an upcoming series. So, parents are going away on their grand European holiday for about a month. I'll have the house mostly to myself. And what they've left behind is a fridge, little freezer, and a big freezer full of all sorts of things that are half opened, never been used, or just people don't even remember they're still there. So this is pretty much a series where I'm going to be working through hopefully the entire freezer, just grabbing things day by day and trying to make something out of them. So it's not really one of those actually helpful step-by-step follow along, learn something videos. This is more of a follow along and see how badly it might turn out at the end, but also maybe learn something from my TAFE days. Yeah, so today I really wanted to make some sort of baked thing, but in the entire fridge there is no flour. Well, we have some flour. We've got rye flour just here. I looked up some recipes and we're going to be very loosely following something from insert. That's kind of like a rye chocolate cake. Yeah, so let's get into it. I can't remember the amounts, but I'll edit them in later so you can recreate this if you'd like. The recipe calls for eggs at room temperature, which were freshly laid by our chickens, some butter, room temperature, rye flour, and plain flour, but we're substituting self-raising because that's all we've got. Sugar, so we've got half-finished brown sugar, caster sugar, and white sugar. Cocoa powder's nearly finished, so I threw it out, but we've got these Brazil nuts, some baking powder, molasses, but we're going to use maple syrup, and then some cream, but we're going to use plant-based yogurt. But we're starting just with mixing all the dry ingredients, so we've got rye flour, self-raising flour, and cocoa powder and baking powder in here. You know, we're leaving these lumps in, letting it be a bit rustic. Toasting some Brazil nuts here, give it a little bit of flavour and also kind of crisp them up.
Merry Christmas!
Them up by getting the moisture out. We've chopped up our toasted nuts, whipped the butter, which is thankfully room temp. I'm not sure if room temp is supposed to mean 40 degrees and 100% humidity, but it will do. So I want to make sure we whip that so that first before putting the sugar in, because I'm going to cream it, adding air in so that it's a bit lighter, which will help give our cake a bit more lift, which is really important because this rye flour is going to be a bit more dense than normal. And then once that butter's creamed, we're going to add in our sugar. Sorry about the lighting, one of the lights has just blown. The butter and sugar has whipped up now, and now we're adding in our molasses, which instead we're using, you know, that nasty ass fake maple syrup? We're using that because it's gross. Scraping down the bowl, making sure that can all get incorporated. And then we're going to add the eggs into this one at a time as well. So we're adding 3 eggs one by one, more like 2 eggs and 2 half eggs, because let's be honest, these little ones the chickens lay are kind of scary. And now the eggs are incorporated, we're going to alternate mixing in our flour dry ingredients mixture with our yogurt until it is all smooth and a nice thick batter. Now you can see it's all thickened up now that that's incorporated, so we're going to fold our chopped nuts right in here. Now we've got our oven preheated to 200 degrees Celsius. Should have told you about one. Pan's way too small, but we'll see how it goes. Butcher's paper in the bottom, greased around the sides so it doesn't stick. And this is really hard one hand. Voila, it is in the tin. Got some muffins there just to use up the mixture. Unfortunately, I've been preheating my oven to, what's that? 40 degrees because I forgot to turn these bloody things on. So I'm gonna wait for that to preheat, and then I'm just gonna stick it in for, I think it's like 40 minutes. But muffins are out. Can you tear this one, Rani? So you see it's a bit rye inside. Try some. I would say it's very nice. It's still quite light, but like a bit more dense as well.
Yeah, it definitely has a bit more of that chewy rye texture, but not too much. It's a tiny bit.
And the tree nuts are really good. They've definitely burnt them a bit when I was toasting them, but it gives it a really nice flavour. Success, first time around. We've got a bit of icing sugar here from the freezer and this orange laying around, so we're gonna make a nice orange icing. Alright, so now that we've made even more of a mess, important to recognise that icing mixture is not the same as icing sugar. It has starch in it, and thus it tastes kind of cruddy. We'd also like to reassert that the concept of this series is not like getting excited about like finishing things up, but I guess just cooking with a sustainable mindset of making sure that all food is finished, there's no food waste, because otherwise these things buried at the bottom of freezers they reach their time of death and get thrown out. So, you know, do your little part.